Well, next up we've got Espen and Øyvind from Stacc, our friends in Bergen. So they're quite unused to this dry and quite arid climate of Oslo, but we're super thankful that they made their way here. I will allow you to introduce yourselves, but please have a glass of water.
All right, can you hear me? Yeah. Hi, I'm Espen, and it's good to see so many people here today. And this is
Øyvind.
And we're going to talk about Stacc's journey for doing ISO and our road being Isonauts. So some introductions. My name is Espen. I am the CTO of this Stacc group, and Øyvind is head of product development for Stacc Flow. Flow is our automation offering for automating business processes in banking and insurance. And sorry.
Yeah, so we were both developers and architects.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And we have a combined experience of over 25 years, both as consultants, vendors, and also on the product side. Yeah.
And Stacc is a company delivering software for banks and insurance companies, and it was founded in 2016-ish, and but its roots go back to the 90s. So it was founded by a team that had a lot of experience in developing software for the banking industry. And it has grown relatively rapidly from a very small team of 10 people in 2016 to almost 200 today. So it's been quite a journey for our company.
Yeah, and in growing to that size, we chose earlier this year, I think it was March, to finally get ISO 9001 and 27001 certified. And we made a pretty ambitious attempt. We would do it within the year, or in about 9 months. Yeah.
Yeah, I just heard from our CEO that he thought that there was no way we're going to do that.
Yeah.
It's completely impossible.
Yeah. Yeah, next slide.
Yeah. Okay, so, well, while wanting to, so this whole theme of this conference has been like, okay, there are these trolls that we want to avoid, right? Brilliant way to phrase it, by the way. So we came from a world where we already had a pretty well-defined automated DevOps process, even some secure in there, even. And what my main worry, and Espen's main worry about this was, okay, so we're getting ISO. Does that mean that we have to introduce like change advisory boards and fill out a lot of forms, and oh my God, this is going to hurt so much? Yeah, that was kind of in the back of our minds when we started thinking about this. But at the same time, we knew that we didn't really have a choice, because we were delivering software to like big banks and also a lot of regulated players, and there was no way we could avoid basically having proving that the way that we were delivering software was kind of secure, and that we could prove that it was secure.
Yeah, so as mentioned, Stacc is a group that comprises 8 companies, if you count the group, and it has a variety of history in each of those, because of our strategy to grow through organic growth, but also through mergers and acquisitions. So you can imagine buying new companies would involve also taking on their legacy and their code, and we had to see the constellation and find solutions that could work for each of those as we move forward with existing processes. Yeah.
So in addition to like different companies or different departments that they know where, with different processes, there was also great variety when it came to tooling. And we didn't think of this as a bad thing, right? I think it's really important to be flexible when you're working in like an area like this, and different teams should be able to kind of pick their own tools. So in order to kind of achieve this this automated compliance thing, we needed a solution that was really flexible when it came to how you could use it.
Yeah, so that's where Kosli comes in for Stacc. We had met Mike and James previously throughout the years when they were named Compliance DB and even Merkley, and it kind of fit perfectly into our needs matrix, because we had to have a tool that could again go into each of the build automation pipeline tools and work across each of the development teams we had in-house, and it just fit perfectly. And the flexibility of it also in providing the evidence and the gathering was just a perfect match for us.
Yeah. So we started out, like we mentioned this, so for those of you who are into astronomy, this doesn't really work, but our designer created it, so I guess it's fine for now. But as we mentioned, we were in for quite a journey, because again, going from nothing to ISO in 12 months, that's quite something. So basically what we started on was creating a proof of concept, because we need to make sure that all of the requirements from our internal risk people were filled, and it would work actually in our existing pipelines. So we created a proof of concept together with Kosli. And that was a success. We presented it to our board and or to our management group and got approval to go ahead. So the next step was basically, okay, how do we industrialize this? Because we have, I don't know, 500 different repos with their own pipelines. So we needed to do some kind of stuff to make it reusable. So we created a couple of pipeline templates, and then we started piloting them across several teams in the organization, gathered feedback, and basically started working on that. And right now we're currently rolling this out company-wide. Yeah, so
end of November, last 2 weeks was audit time. So the auditor, we just came from there. No, we didn't. We had a week's rest now, so we're past it. But the thing we're talking about, of course, is the change management part of the ISO, and we passed with flying colors, and after giving nod back to the other all of the other people working on this certification, which they had much more to do. We had all the right tools, right? So we even got a quote from the auditor going out the door. This is going to make me unemployed, of course. This was in relation to change management, of course, and what we could provide as evidence along the way.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, the certification is not yet on the wall, but it's basically at the point where we made a place for it, because we think that it's actually going to get up there in the time frame that we anticipated, or hoped for. Anticipates.
Yeah.
And yeah. And again, like, I don't think many people in the company thought that we would basically be able to do that. Yeah. And for me, the change management process, of course, was what I was worried about, because as a developer, that's basically where it hits you the most.
Yeah, and the book John was part of writing kind of helped as well with the communication and talking. Even with the troll story is succinct in that we need to bridge the gaps between management and development and get it as a team effort and not as a siloed thing, right? I know a few of our coworkers are looking, but we actually bought this as this going to be in the Christmas gift for all in Stacc, and it's really been a helpful book in the latter parts of the ISO certification. We're still not there. Again, full-scale rollouts inevitably going to have some challenges, and again the constellation of each of the companies and the diversity in tech stacks and build tools. We have a way to go, but it's looking good, and Kosli really helped smooth that out. So thanks, Kosli.
Yeah, and thank you for inviting us. That was really nice of you. And if anyone wants to talk to us either about the compliance or Stacc, then feel free to do so afterwards. We'll stick around for the rest of the day. Thank you.